The immediate Gunthrie family has been cleared of any doing in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. What does it mean? Is it legit? We got some other stuff that we are going to get into. A fourth note sent to TMZ about, I know where Nancy's at. I know where Nancy's at. It's like, come on, dude. And then we got Nancy Disgrace chiming in on Sean Hannity. So make sure to like, subscribe, all that jazz. Let's get into it. I'm Dylan Hildreth. This is Hildreth Investigates. So let's start with DNA recovered from the glove that appears to match those worn by the suspect. Law enforcement have recovered DNA glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home that appear to match those worn by the suspect in the footage recovered from Guthrie's doorbell. The glove was one of many recovered by law enforcement near the home, though most deemed be from officers who searched the property. Yikes. Yikes. So it might be the suspects, or it might be police. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to spitball here. Is it plausible? Is it plausible that somebody from the sheriff's department has done this? Whether it be the sheriff himself or one of his deputies. Which would explain a lot. You see, a lot of people on here, they go by I don't know what the law term is for it. Kind of like it. But anyway, you don't attribute to malice with what you can contribute to incompetence. And that's how a lot of people look at this. They look at the sheriffs as just, they're idiots who made a mistake. And originally, I was looking at it that way. But while I was sitting there, I was playing a little bit of NASCAR, blowing off some steam. Got the whole steering wheel pedal set up, so I can kind of drive and clear my head and think. Oddly enough, it's either about true crime or a lot of things. But anyway, what if, because a lot of the mistakes here are just far and beyond inexcusable. Like, it is like CSI, like, not even 101, it's like 01. 0.1. Like, before you get to actual CSI school. You know this. You do not release the scene until it is all over. The sheriff's department released the scene after a day. Then went back and then found a glove. And then the FBI came in and found a glove and found some evidence. At least that is the chronological order of which the sheriff, what's his nuts? Nuno? Something like that. Anyway, that residential moron released the scene like 4 different times. When in reality, you do not release the scene until it is done. I mean, for God's sake, the owner of the house has been kidnapped. And she lives alone. Nobody else is using it. Keep it taped off until further notice. But he didn't. And then all of a sudden, the FBI, who, at least in the true crime community, nobody trusts those guys. And I can already hear some people, and I'm one of those that I do like Kash Patel. However, I still don't trust the FBI. After seeing what they did to Brian Kohberger, I don't trust the FBI. But all of a sudden, they find a bunch of evidence. And it's not like one of those, like, oh, it should have been a close 50-50 call. No, there was blood at the scene. There were signs of a struggle. How you open the scene back up is... It rises to the level of malice. So, I don't think it is unreasonable to believe that this is an inside job, and I don't mean the Gunthrie family. I'm talking about the sheriffs. I would not put it past, with how incompetent the sheriffs have been, especially when it comes to the quote-unquote key piece of evidence. The sheriff, instead of letting Quantico take it, says, no, we're going to take it to our private lab, in which he can manipulate the outcome. Which may be why he had it sent to the private lab. Now, pretty much the only smart thing law enforcement's or the sheriffs have ever done in this case was rebuking the burglary gone wrong claims. This was obviously not a burglary gone wrong, or else Nancy Guthrie would have been found on her kitchen floor. Nobody in a burglary is going to go that extra mile to kidnap somebody on a whim. And the other thing here is this was too well planned out. And to sit here and say that, oh, these were done by amateurs. No. We are on day, as I look at the calendar in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen. It is February 17th. We are 17 days into this. 17 days into this. Amateurs are not doing this and getting away with this for 17 days. So to suggest that this is a bunch of amateurs is foolish, is stupid, and I would even rise to the level of malpractice. These people who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie know exactly what they are doing. Whether they have done this before in a foreign country, whether they've done this before on a much smaller scale. Either way, this team, and yes, I do believe it is multiple people. We are not looking for one person. Multiple people are involved in this. And they have done this before. And if everything goes their way, they will do it again. And the other lie that I've been seeing, and especially on mainstream media, is they're talking about how this is financially motivated. It is not. It is revenge. It is either revenge. It is revenge motivated. It is notoriety motivated. Popularity, I should say, motivated. It is not about the money. The money is the seasoning on the steak. The whole steak is notoriety. It is revenge. If you believe, and it is especially true, that it is revenge motivated or notoriety motivated. If you believe Harvey Levin and TMZ and that they are getting actual notes, emails from the kidnapper. Here is Harvey Levin talking about a fourth email, and probably says something along the lines of, and I'll never send you one again. But you'll probably get one in the next day or two. But anyway, here is Harvey Levin.
Fourth letter from the same person who says that he knows where Nancy Guthrie is and he wants money in return for the information. Essentially, he wants the reward. So I have something to say to you, and I have already talked to the FBI about this, that if you are not real, you're committing a crime, and you should know that. And this is a serious federal crime. If you are real, this is the fourth letter you've sent, and I should tell everybody that in this letter, it says, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is, and that was definitely Nancy with them. This is...
Okay. So let's talk about that for a minute. It does not take a high IQ individual to believe that there are multiple people involved. And I saw it, and you saw how, well, and we'll see when Nancy Grace starts talking about it. Like, oh, it was multiple people and it was down in Mexico. It's like, come on. Those are details that this person could have very easily pulled directly out of their orifice. It is not a stretch to believe it was multiple people. Mexico, it might be a little bit of a stretch, depending on how quickly they got to the border. If they were able to get to the border before sunrise, which I think it would have been a stretch. Let me see. How far away is Tucson, Arizona from the Mexican border? Okay, so they wouldn't have made it there by daylight, and they would have been pushing it. It's about 9 hours from Tucson, Arizona to the border. Is what my phone told me. That's just according to Siri, so do with that with what you will. But for the sake of this argument, we're going to believe Siri here. And we're looking at, they would have had to get down there, like right then and there. They're going. They get there before this case blows up, which it blew up at about 1 o'clock. So they're right at that window, 9-10 hours. So is it impossible to believe that they're in Mexico? No. Is it feasible? Yes. Is it likely? Not really. However, it is not outside the realm of possibility.
This is the second time he has referred to more than one person involved in this. He said there is a main person and there are others, and he said it here.
That's every single relationship, essentially. You have the boss and you have the follower or followers. That goes true with as something as devious as kidnapping an elderly lady, all the way down to all the way down as to innocent as boyfriend girlfriend relationship, or best friends. You have the dominant, and then you have the followers. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
He is saying that Nancy was taken to Mexico. Now, this is what he's saying. I'm not going to vouch for him, but this is the fourth letter. We have sent them all on to the FBI. And he also says one of the reasons he's worried about coming forward is he has a record. He has a burglary on his record from 10 years ago. So I don't know.
Which would be absolutely irrelevant unless he's got an open warrant, which I still think that would be irrelevant.
If you're real or not if you're watching this. But if you are, and I have told the FBI that we're going to do this, they know this, that if you're worried about getting this money and you really do have this information, send it to us. You're sending us these letters. Send it to us. We will forward it to the FBI. And that way there's a record that we have that you supplied this information. If they find her and they find the kidnapper, then at least there is evidence, because we have it, that you're the one who provided the information. So this is a way for you to get that money if this really is legitimate.
We got your back, friend. We got your back. Just send us the information. We'll make sure if Nancy is found, we'll get you the money. I trust Harvey about as far as I can throw him. As far as I can throw him. I don't trust him one bit. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Now, if you want to believe, so there are some people out here that are trying to talk out of both sides of their mouth, and they may not even know they're doing it because they're so stupid. If you believe that this is real, this is legit, then it is not about the money. This is about the notoriety. Got all the elements, just enough to make your mouth water, but not enough to give you what you want. And this is why Harvey's falling for it. He's biting on it. I don't know if it's real. I tend to lean more on the there might be aspects that are true, but I don't think she's in Mexico. I don't think so. I think they are actually more in the I still think they're within the United States. They may very well be just outside city limits. They could be in Phoenix, Goodyear. They are somewhere. Actually, I have no idea how close Goodyear is to Tucson, but like I still think that they're within the state of Arizona. Usually they don't go too far away from home. So, and I'm playing more of the numbers here, but I think they're still within the state of Arizona. They could be in New Mexico, but I don't think they went across the border. I don't think so. Too high risk. I think they're still in the States. So I do think this is bull. I do think this is all bull. I don't think they're in Mexico. Because that would have been cutting it close. So there's that. And then that shit. So there's all that. Now, let me know what you think. Was this an inside job perpetrated by the Prima County Sheriff? because I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility, given the ineptness. I still think that the motive is revenge driven. Could it be revenge on Savannah? Could it be revenge on Nancy? There's a lot of speculation to be had here. And you have the sheriffs not cooperating with the FBI, and then sheriff comes out, oh, we cooperate with the FBI. We not only cooperate with them, and he goes full Trump, we are the best at cooperating with the FBI. Excuse me. We are the best. Nobody cooperates better with the FBI than Prima County. So that looks a little suspicious. I don't know. I'm beginning to look at Prima County, the Prima County sheriffs. Because, like I said, there are a lot of mistakes made here that should have never been made. But it's just, I don't know. There's still a lot we don't know.
All right.
And this is from Sean Hannity, and Nancy Disgrace is talking about it.
A lot to chew on tonight. What are your thoughts on all of it?
Well, let me just start with Walmart, because there's more to it than just the backpack. What?
Oh, yeah, the backpack. Well, that's beginning to get unclear again, because Lana from Truth and Transparency, she is an absolute rock star. She's one of the best. Absolutely love her. She's coming out saying she don't think that's an Ozark backpack. I don't know if she's backed off on that, but if she's questioning it, obviously it's worth questioning. And like I said, she's one of the best on YouTube right now.
The Ozark backpack is exclusive to Walmart, but the jacket that he was wearing also sold at Walmart.
Wait, which one? Which one, Nancy? There were multiple jackets in this.
Not only that, and this is much, much more, to me, important, and that is the holster. That polyester holster, that is sold at Walmart. Now, interesting, because it's a polyester holster, Sean, it's not your first choice of holster.
Okay, I feel like you would. Okay, so that's not even the backpack that they're showing. You see all the different shades, which means it's all different colors. If it was the Ozark backpack that they're claiming, it would be all the one color. Yeah, that's not an Ozark. Otherwise, it would have been. This would have been black, given the photo that they were given, saying that what it was. So yeah, that's not an Ozark backpack.
It is.
Lana is right again.
It's not reliable. It's not as safe as a firm holster. Very few of them are sold, and not only is that holster sold at Walmart, very few of them, as I said, are sold, which would narrow down the purchases. You know what else is sold at Walmart beside the backpack, the jacket, the holster, a similar ski mask? Burner phones, Sean. burner phones. Now, we know that.
Okay, what brand is the jacket then? Because everything is sold at Walmart. And pretty much buy anything at Walmart outside of a freaking car. I mean, shoot, you go out back, you can find somebody selling a dime piece. Kidding. Relax.
Carlos Palazuelos was identified because his phone was in the area quite often. He's a delivery person there. Now we know people down the street were raided.
And we're still not talking about the fact that her mother-in-law said that the cops said that they didn't need a warrant. So, but of course, we're just going to glance right over that.
Their phones were there. They're looking at phones. A burner phone is not as easy to track because you don't have to list it like with T-Mobile or AT&T. You can put any name you want there and you can get the burner phone from Walmart. My point is this Kidnap Central? Did the perp get everything on a trip to Walmart, including that holster, which is very identifiable? Not only that, we are learning that
What brand is the holster then, Nancy?
the FBI is going to local gun stores as we speak with approximately 40 names and photos and asking, have those people purchased guns at the gun store?
Yeah, and we're using like 6 different... There's at least 2 different people there.
The gun to me looks like a Walther. I can't be sure, but that holster would work with a Walther. Now, I want to talk to you about the blue fly technology that he just mentioned he wished wasn't out there. What that is technology that can identify a Bluetooth signal. Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker contacted her clinic, her doctor, the hospital, through a Bluetooth signal there in her home. This technology is no longer strapped to a helicopter. A CAST, which is, as you know, FBI, Cellular Analysis Survey Team, a CAST member contacted the FBI over the weekend and said, use this on drones. They have now switched to drones, low-flying drones, not helicopters. Why? Because a Bluetooth signal can only go 20 to 40 feet, right?
Actually, about 20 foot is the most. 20 foot is the most from what I've read. 40 foot, you're like pushing it to the max. But yeah. So that was just all that nonsense from Nancy. So, like I said, I don't think that's an Ozark backpack. The fact that Nancy's saying that all this can be purchased at Walmart, there's a lot that can be purchased at Walmart. And that's not necessarily going to narrow everything down. We don't know when that backpack would have been purchased. We don't know when the jacket would have been, the gloves, the mask. There are so many variables in that I mean, you definitely want to pursue those rabbit holes as far as you can, but your key piece of evidence is now in a private lab, which Quantico is no longer going to be able to touch. And on top of all of that, you have the FBI and the sheriffs not cooperating. And on top of all of that, the glove won't be admissible in court, and anything that you find from that glove will not be admissible in court. Because the scene was released and then it was found, according to the sheriff. And that is a problem. Now, if it is the glove... Now, I guess they found a glove sitting on the side of the road, which could be the police glove. They're speculating it could be just a discarded policeman's glove, which doesn't look good for the sheriff. Yeah. I smell a cover-up. Let me know what you think. I'm Dylan Hildreth. This is Hildreth Investigates. We'll see you in the next one.